Hi guys, welcome to the next part of our lecture. I separate it so it makes it easier to, you can go through it in separate parts and it's just a bit easier to upload to iLearn. Sometimes we have a few problems if the file is too big. Okay, so I'm just going to share and then we'll get started on this one. It says, Veronica is booking a train ticket from Osaka to Tokyo. Fares for the green class seats cost 19,230 Japanese yen. The exchange rate on the day is $1.324, $1.32.4 per 100 yen. How much will you have to pay in Australian dollars? So what's happening here, it really is just effectively 19230 divided by 100 yen. So that will tell you how many units of 100 yen we have, because our exchange rate was per 100 yen. Then times it by the exchange rate, and we are going to get $254. Okay, so hopefully that's a pretty straightforward type of question. The Samsung A70 is priced $649 in Sydney, while it is $299 Singapore dollars in Singapore. The spot rate is currently 1.058. Okay. Assume there will be no additional cost of shipping since you are making a trip to Singapore soon. Where will you buy the phone? Okay. Well, one Singapore dollar is equal to $1.05.8 Australian. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to say $299 times the exchange rate. Now you'll notice here that's Singapore dollars and the exchange rate given is Australian dollars to Singapore. Therefore, this is in a numerator and this is in a denominator, so we can just multiply the exchange rate and learn that in Australian dollars, it's going to be $316.34. So we can buy it in Singapore. Explain why explain why the same phone with the same specifications will sell at different prices. Well, it could be geographical specific demand. There's more demand in Australia, so the price is higher. There could be restrictions on sale or the amount of units available, transportation costs, government taxes, transaction costs, including wages and those sort of things. Okay. Hillsbus purchased 100 Enviro 500 MMC buses from the UK. So it's 100 buses. Payment of £38 million is required in 3 months' time. The bank quotes a forward rate of 1.8533 to the British pound to buy the required pound sterling. Calculate the cost of the bus in Australian dollars. Okay. Well, to work this one out, again, it's the same methodology. Because GBP is on the bottom of our quote, we can just multiply it, and we're going to be learning that there's 70 million Australian dollars, okay, if we exchange it in the future at that forward rate. Now, let's assume the spot rate was $1.627 to the euro, and the 1 year forward rate was 1.65 to the euro. How much more would you receive by selling at the forward rate than at the spot rate? All right, so this is a really interesting question. If the $1 million was sold at the spot rate, we would get 1,627,400. If it was sold at the forward rate, we'd get 1,650,000. So the difference would be $22,600. Okay. NAB quotes the spot USD AUD exchange rate at 0.7. The interest rate in Australia is 1.5%, while in the US, it's 0.5. Now we're asked to estimate the forward exchange rate 90 days from now and 180 days from now. So 90 days from now, we're going to use our forward interest rate formula. So it's equal to the spot rate, which is 0.7, plus 1 plus the US interest rate, which is 0.5%. Therefore, it's 0.005 over 1 plus 0.015, which is 1.5%, times 90 on 360. So the exchange rate here is 0.6982. So in the spot market, 1 Australian dollar was buying at 70 cents. In the forward market, 1 Australian dollar is buying less than 70 cents. Why? Well, remember we said the country with the higher interest rate, which in this case is Australia, will see a weakening of their currency. And we can do the same thing, okay? We can do the same thing for the 180-day rate, okay? Now, HSB has offered the following international exchange rates, okay? Hong Kong dollars and Chinese yuan. Now, this is what we call a cross rate. And the reason is this: we've got Hong Kong to US, yuan to US. There's a common rate here, which is the US dollar. So we can use two separate rates to find the third rate, which would be the Hong Kong dollar to the Chinese yuan. So to do this, we have to use a little bit of currency algebra, but we would divide 7.8499 divided by 6.919, and that would tell us the exchange rate between Hong Kong, okay, to the Chinese currency is 1.13. And that makes sense that it's 1.13 because per US dollar, we're getting more Hong Kong dollars than we are Chinese yuan. All right. Consider the following quotes for US dollars and Australian dollars. Okay, we've got a 1 year forward rate. We've got a spot rate. We've got Australian dollar interest rate, and we've got the US dollar interest rate. It says, list all the steps required to conduct a covered interest arbitrage and calculate the arbitrage profit. Assume you can borrow $1 million US or the foreign currency equivalent. So if the difference in exchange rates is greater than the forward premium, we invest in the higher yielding country. If the difference in, interest rates, if the difference in interest rates is less than the forward premium, we invest in the lower interest currency. So we borrow the currency at low interest rates and invest it in high interest rates, okay? So how would we do this? We could borrow $1 million at 0.5% and then convert that at the spot rate to 1.70 million Australian dollars. We can invest in the Australian market at 1.47. Sorry, we can invest the 1,470,000 at 1.5%. And at the end of the year, we're going to have this figure here, 1,492,647. Okay. Now, a year later, okay, we said the 1,470,000 become 1,492. We convert that back at the forward rate, and that's going to give us 1,119,000. We repay our loan of 1,005, and that's going to give us an arbitrage profit of 111,000. Now, a lot of people ask me about these steps. what I actually usually do myself, I kind of do it a little bit different way. I just quickly do the calculation to work out whether there's an arbitrage profit or not. I just find it a little bit more reliable, particularly if the rates are quoted a funny way sometimes, or there's a bit of uncertainty associated with that. Okay. All right, guys. So that's just a few questions that should hopefully help you. Thanks very much for listening. If you've got any questions, keep in touch and have a great day. Thanks very much, guys.